Hello friends, welcome to the Kumbi-Gikku Show on Gikkudiaries YouTube channel. First of all, wish you all a very happy Tamil New Year's and a very happy Vishu and also a happy New Year to the people in the rest of the country. We, in this third episode of reviewing the matches, K. Srinath, the former Tamil Nadu and Karnataka cricketer, now a BCCI-panel umpire and also the co-author of the Handbook of Cricket Psychology, co-authoring with Yaman Vishwanath. We discuss the matches from last Monday till yesterday, that is matches number 20 to 29, starting with Mumbai Indians losing at home to KKR at the Wankhede and finishing with Mumbai Indians winning away at Delhi against DelhiCapitals yesterday and the matches in between. Shri, happy Tamil New Year. Welcome to the Kumbi-Gikku Show again. How have you been? How have you followed the matches the last 1 week?
Thank you, Jikku. Wish you the same and wish all the viewers a very happy New Year. Yeah, it's been an interesting week and again, some hits and misses. And I've been keenly following the week of IPL and we've come to the midway almost. So most of the teams have played 6 games each. And yes, again, the cause of concern has been teams doing well away from home.
That's right.
So it's become home away from home for them. I think that's been the pattern till the halfway stage now.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we are about 6 matches away from hitting the midpoint of this IPL. And what we have seen from last week and then the week gone by is the top 2 teams have swapped positions. Gujarat Titans displacing Delhi Capitals at number 1, Delhi Capitals going down to number 2 just because of their first defeat in this league to Mumbai Indians yesterday. DC seemed to be unbeatable, but then one defeat had to come at some point, wasn't it, Sri?
Yeah, you could term it as law of averages, but when you spoke about the top 2 teams just swapping positions, I think the teams that have played pretty consistent cricket till now, that is Gujarat Titans, Delhi Capitals, the Royal Challengers, Bengaluru. So we see them figuring in the top 3. So these are the teams that have played consistently well. And yes, the first defeat for DC at the hands of Mumbai. Well, pretty good run chase from Delhi. But I think Mumbai ticked quite a few boxes on that given day. And it could be the resurgence we see of Mumbai Indians because they've been tagged as slow starters. But this could be the tipping point for Mumbai Indians. From here on, if they can win their home games, hold on to their fortress, I think you never know what is in store in the coming 2 weeks.
Right. So yesterday's win by 12 runs against DC, a hat-trick of runouts in the 19th over, bowled by Jasprit Bumrah. DC seemed to have the game in their hands, but then they just lost their way. Karun Nair, who was playing his first match as an impact player yesterday from a fantastic domestic cricket, Vijay Hazare records, we all know what he did this season. The other impact player, 37-year-old leg spinner, Karan Sharma. Both Karun and Karan playing their first matches of the season they straight away created an impact, but there had to be only one winner, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is sounding more like the old Hindi movie of Karan Arjun, but here it is Karan and Karun. Yes, a lot has been spoken about the role of an impact player in this IPL, and there have been divided opinions. Some of them saying that it's taking away the sheen of a proper all-rounder in the side, and it's not making the game more interesting because it is becoming 12 versus 12. But nevertheless, that's the rule that is in existence, and yes, the real impact was made by these 2 players. And in the end, as you mentioned, there had to be only one winner. And I think Karan Sharma, with his brilliant spell of leg spin bowling, he brought all his experience to the table. And sad to see somebody like Karun from my state losing out, but he played a fabulous knock. End of the day, his wait was quite long in this IPL. He had to play his first game yesterday as an impact player. Right. But nevertheless, a terrific game of cricket. Yes, but the game was in the grasp and well within the reach of DC. But for the 3 runouts that happened in the 19th over, which tilted the game in favor of MI.
Right. So somebody sent a message about Karun Nayak posting IPL half century after 2019, and the interest was such that he had scored his first IPL 50 after some 2000 odd days. So this is how people go to the extent of digging the numbers when it comes to such impactful performances. How do you look at it?
I mean, there is so much information available today on the internet, and most of it is misinformation. But for somebody who is more of a stat man, I think these are all pretty interesting numbers. In fact, the other day it was Dhoni captaining CSK again after 1,000 odd days, whatever. So these are all interesting read as far as numbers go. But at the end of the day, I think Karun would be pretty happy with what he did with the bat. But at the end of the day, yes, from the team's point of view, certainly it would have been a happy ending for him.
True. So to get the number right, he said after a gap of 2,521 days, he scored another half century in IPL. So that's something which rather he got his previous 50 in 2018. Well, that's how people go into numbers, and some numbers can be interesting. But one particular number that interested me was Mumbai Indians and something to do with number 12. Their last three matches results, either them winning or losing, have been by 12 runs. Did it strike you?
Well, I think they are playing true to the adage of 12 players participating in a game,
Right.
11 plus 1 impact player. An interesting read. It's coincidental. I think again those two games which they lost by 12 runs, they were very much in grasp, and winning by 12 against DC yesterday night. I think, as I mentioned, Mumbai is a very, very dangerous unit, and once they get together as a team, I think they can really cause headaches to the other teams in the table. Yes, interesting. We spoke about Karun, 2,000 odd days to get his next 50, and now Mumbai Indians' last 3 games, the margin of losses and victory have been by 12. Yeah, interesting. It's turning out to be more to numerology rather than the belief or the faith the players have in their own abilities.
Right. But talking about serious cricket, what is happening to Rohit Sharma? He tries to get start, gives the impression that it is going to be his day with those beautiful 6 or 4s, but then he somehow loses his way. Yesterday he was out trying to sweep, missing, and leg before to Nigam. So how do you look at Rohit Sharma and he seems to be indispensable. His contribution on the field, inputs to captain Hardik Pandya, and some of the changes, and even I read somewhere that it was him who told the management to bring Karun Sharma as the impact player, and he delivered. So these kind of things he cannot be done away with, isn't it?
I think he's becoming somebody very similar to what Dhoni is to CSK, because the legacy he's built around the Mumbai Indians camp, 5 titles under him, and his contribution as a batter or as a captain has been unparalleled in the history of IPL cricket as far as Mumbai Indians is concerned.
Right.
But if you look at his form over the last 3 or 4 IPLs, I think his contribution with the bat per se to Mumbai Indians has not been all that great. That is when we talk in terms of Rohit Sharma, the batter. Certainly his contribution has not been up to the mark there. An odd, a quick blitz at the top of the order. But he's not gone on to bat 12-15 overs to ensure he gets to the 70-80 which is known to. But here's his acumen, his capability to outsmart or outthink the opposition in terms of inputs he provided to Hardik. That's of great value. But yes, it's a sorry state to see him, being impacted as a sub in a few games. But yes, that's how the game has taken shape. Is it moving forward to more of guys with younger legs and more energy in them? But we can discuss that. But nevertheless, there's another guy who's 36, who's running like a hare on the field. That's Virat Kohli. Yes, it's a bit worrying as far as the batting form of Rohit goes. But as of now, Mumbai has won the last game. Again, when they get back to home, his experience as a batter And again, he is one of those batters who's just one hit away. And if he gets going, it can certainly be demoralizing for the opposition. Yes, the think tank would be scratching their head, but all the viewers, the fans, cricketing buffs around the world would certainly love to see Rohit Sharma get back to form as soon as possible.
Yeah, you just mentioned about Rohit and his batting in IPL over the last couple of years. The fact is that he has been averaging less than 25 since IPL 2023. So perhaps the win yesterday in Delhi and the fact that they have their 2 home matches back-to-back this Thursday and Sunday probably gives him the chance to get back to his run scoring ways. So maybe it's just like you said, he's just a hit away from getting back to his the original Rohit that we know.
I think it's not about numbers. You spoke about an average of 25. I think averages are a bit misleading in the T20 format. It's more about strike rates. Somebody can have an average of 40 plus, but if he's striking about 100, 110, it's not going to add value to the side.
Right.
But Rohit's breathtaking starts with a strike rate of 180, 200 is what makes an impact. So that's it. Averages are misleading, but Rohit is far too better and a big player than what his numbers depict.
Right. Moving on, Royal Challengers Bangalore seem to be going up, winning. They seem to be feeling at home, away from home, 4 away wins, but not still getting the grasp of the home, your city, Bengaluru. What do they have to do to just start winning at home?
There was a meme actually when they lost the last game. So some of the fans were so agitated, they were frustrated. They said it's time for RCB to give up Chinnaswamy as their home ground. I mean, that was purely out of emotion. A fan would obviously connect with. But to be honest, the 2 home games which RCB has lost, normally you would associate the pitch or track at Chinnaswamy to be a belter. People have been used to seeing those balls carry over the ropes, the sixers being hit, because we've seen boundaries and sixers galore there. But somewhere the pitches that have been played so far in the 2 games have been a bit tacky, a bit tough. The ball has been holding onto the surface. So it did require some sort of common sense batting people to spend more time in the middle. Those were not pitches which could easily get 200 or 220 on. So I think moving forward, I think the next game at home which RCB is playing is on 18th. So they would certainly reassess the strategy or have a chat with the curator and try to provide a better batting surface, because the top in RCB is really firing all cylinders. And their fast bowling attack has done really well. And spin, yes, it's been pretty league wing for them, only in terms of Krunal Pandya and Suyash Sharma, who's basically played as a impact sub. But nevertheless, yes, I think RCB would try to crack the jigsaw puzzle and say that third time lucky, they would come back. And I think it's more to do with the mindset and how they need to assess the conditions in the middle and say that they're not going to go hell for leather up front and start losing wickets in the middle like it happened in the last game against DC. So I think they will certainly figure out and strike a formula. 4 away game wins that would have given them a lot of confidence. It's just a matter of picking up 1 victory at home. I think they'll be back on the juggernaut.
And in the 2 home matches, their explosive opener Phil Salt did not get going. And the good news for RCB is that he is back to scoring half centuries like he would, and maybe that will help RCB win home matches also. Because last year, if you see him and KKR, he was very good with KKR at Eden Gardens, but he was not scoring away. But now, maybe Salt and home matches, they are probably something that the link will be back for the good of RCB. But Sri, last week, matches 19 to 29, the talking point has to be that man Abhishek Sharma and his 141. He just rewrote various records. SRH winning that, chasing a huge target, 246 against Punjab Kings. 245 we thought was a good total for PBKs to win, but then Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head, when they get going, there's no stopping them and SRH. Abhishek Sharma and 141. How did you look at that knock?
I think it was pure class. I mean, a guy who can get 140 of 60 out balls was phenomenal. And as you mentioned, 4 losses, they were staring down the barrel. Yes. In fact, even SRH now are languishing at the bottom 3. They still have a lot of catch-up to do. But we've already discussed previously, Gikku, the top 5 is one of the best in this edition of the IPL.
Yes.
You've got the likes of Travis Head, you've got Abhishek Sharma, you've followed by Ishan Kishan, you've got Nitish Reddy, you've got Hendrik Klaasen, and you've got Aniket Verma. I mean, no team can boast of such firepower in their top 6, batting unit. And 3 left-handers that can add a real headache to the opponents. And when the way Punjab Kings batted and got to 244, 245, everybody thought with the sort of form these batters were in, they were in for trouble.
Yeah.
But as you said, when these 2 guys got going, I think there was no stopping them. And the irony is, 12 balls to spare.
Yes.
18 over, chasing down 245, losing just a handful of wickets. And it's just not about the power in this game or in this format of T20. You see the finesse with which he played. It was pure timing.
Right.
And none of the shots were just over the line. All the sixers were very clear. And matching him equally was Travis Head. I think there is no lethal opening combination in this 18th edition of IPL than Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma. As you mentioned, when they are on flow, I think they are unstoppable. It's not possible to stop them. It could be any side, any bowling side, any surface, or any however big a ground is. I think that was a class act, and I think the takeaway from this whole week was that brilliant 140 by Abhishek Sharma and that magnificent chase in the second innings.
And also, after he reached his century, he took out a note from his pocket and showed it to the spectators. That was something. How you get up that morning, and according to whatever he spoke in the press, you get up in the morning, write a note, put it in your pocket, and show it. For him to do that very day, it is everything has to go right, and it went right for him, didn't it?
I think no one would even have an iota of doubt regarding the ability of Abhishek Sharma, because he's proved that in the last 12 months when he's been with the Indian side, he's made brilliant hundreds. He's got 100 in South Africa. He's played really well in the home series. So there's no doubting the ability. And kudos to the team management, the captain of SRH, who have given the license to him to carry on with the same vein which he's been in from game 1. So it was just a matter of one knock, just a couple of overs he needed to spend in the middle. And yes, as you said, that's the belief and self-confidence the player should carry. But I heard Travis said in one of the chats saying that he had that note in his pocket for 6 games.
Wow. Okay.
So could be it was just a matter of time for him to come out and express himself.
Right.
So I mean this is a very strong message, and a lot of youngsters watching the game should certainly pick up and learn from the way Abhishek Sharma went about his business. It's just not possible for everybody to come out and go firing all cylinders in every innings they play. There are bound to be dismissals en route because they're going to play on different surfaces. But this knock was standout. I think by far till the 29th game we played in the IPL, this has been one of the best knocks we've seen, and we certainly would get to see more in the coming weeks. But this has been an outstanding knock during this week of this edition.
Definitely. And the moment he took out a note from his pocket, my mind only went back 13 years ago when Dinesh Ramdan, you remember, took out a note in the test match against England at Edgbaston. My thought was whether this was going to be against some player for some comment or some ex-player for some comment. But then it was for the fans of Orange Army, the fans of SRH. And it clearly said, no, this one is for Orange Army. Unlike him, Dinesh Ramdan, who went against Viv Richards and some comment that Richards made for his poor form in that series. So this was something nice, and even that took everyone by surprise.
It's a very, very touching moment because having lost 4 games on the trot, the fans would have been certainly a bit upset the way things have gone. But to be honest, they stuck game on, and it was a payback time, and in no better way. finishing it off in 18 overs and scoring a brilliant 100. What better way can you give it back to the fans? I think that's the way this event is panned out.
Yeah, the fans must have been hurt, but more hurt must have been Abhishek Sharma and the form that he was in between before that classic 141. You spoke about, of course, SRH have the explosive set of openers, but it seems to be the opposite end for the CSK openers. And even MS Dhoni went on record saying that they are batting the 50-over style and they have to get used to the 20-over style. I'm talking about the two Kiwis, Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra. And CSK seemed to just be hitting a new low, 5 consecutive losses, 3 consecutive losses at home. Can it get any worse for CSK?
I think they're at an all-time low, and it's looking totally like a disoriented unit. Adding fuel to fire has been the injury which Ruturaj Gaikwad has had, and I don't know, forcibly they had to go back to somebody like MS Dhoni to captain the side again. It's looking a pale shadow of what CSK has been. 5 titles under them, and the sort of cricket they've played all way along. It's been a different brand of cricket. One is, yes, their batting has struggled, and yes, the replacements have been quite depressing. Again, you got back the likes of Tripathi. You had to fall back on somebody like Deepak Huda. Vijay Shankar has not been somebody who's in red-hot form who can strike at 150 for you. Now they have to look for a replacement for Ruturaj Gaikwad, and as you mentioned, Convoy and Rachin Ravindra have struggled with the bat up front. Now the opening and the top order looks literally depleted, and Dhoni has not done any good with his batting form, nor has been Jadeja. Surprising to see somebody like Ashwin being promoted ahead of Jadeja. Yes. And even as a bowling unit, they have not stuck it out together. It's pretty saddening to see the likes of Jadeja and Ashwin not being among wickets. It's been pretty defensive on their part, because Chepauk typically is a wicket which helps spinners more, and they have relied on Jadeja, Ashwin and Noor. Noor is the only bowler who's delivered, and both Jadeja and Ashwin have looked very pedestrian, because they are bowlers who bowl well in tandem, one keeping it quiet, creating the dot ball pressure, and the other picking up wickets. But we are neither seeing both of them applying the sort of pressure by dot balls, nor are they amongst wickets. I think they are looking far too deep at the end of the tunnel. Resurgence from here is a huge task for them and a big mountain to climb. I think it's looking very bleak for CSK from here on.
Right, with 7 or 8 matches still to go, you never know. They have to win consecutively all those matches, but this seems to be it is not going to happen for this kind of CSK team. We can even say that it is possible for some other teams. We are not ruling it out, but we can straight away rule out CSK finishing in the top 5 unless miracle happens, and people believe in miracles. I don't know if miracle will work for CSK this season.
Looks highly improbable. It's only a mathematical equation, like you mentioned. 8 more games to go. If they can win at least 6 games out of it, they're on 4 points. So mathematically, 14 is the threshold for a team to qualify, depending on how the top 3 teams do. Yes, there is still a mathematical chance numerically, but yes, as far as what can transpire on the cricket field with the set of players they are having around now, I think it looks really, really tough.
You just mentioned about bowlers. Sri, from one who was watched so closely from the best position seat on the ground, what does a player go through? Somebody like, say, Ashwin, Jadeja, who are known to be master especially on pitches in Chepauk, and them not delivering on such pitches. What happens to them, or what could be the reasons? And you have only one bowler in Noor Ahmed, who is the purple cap holder, but then the experienced duo of Ashwin and Jadeja. What happens to them?
I mean, look, number one is they have not been getting enough runs to bowl to. Whenever CSK has batted first, they were just hardly 100 plus in the game against KKR, which was knocked off well in under 10 overs. And even when they have bowled first, there's not been much help, as I mentioned in my previous comment. It's about bowling also is about, working in partnerships like batting. It's about creating the dot ball pressure from one end, wherein the batter tries to go after the bowler at the other end, they get wickets. Consistently, neither Jadeja nor Ashwin have been able to do either of them. And Ashwin is somebody who knows Chepauk at the back of his hand. The amount of cricket he's played there, the amount of time he spent there. He knows the 22 yards just by, every inch. So maybe out of international cricket, not much competitive cricket played in between match to match, and they're not getting younger by the day. But the saying is, spinners age, they mature as they grow older. But T20 is not a format. At 37, 38 is not the age when you say I'm mature enough to come and deliver there. I think one of the struggles has been spin bowling for CSK. Resurrection, back in contention or getting back into the fray. I said I'm not writing them off, but I'm saying it's a Herculean task.
True. Yeah. So speaking about Noor Ahmed is the purple cap holder, and you have Nicholas Puran, who seems to be scoring nothing less than a 50. And despite the absence of Mitchell Marsh attending to his unwell daughter, they just seem to be LSG with Aiden Markram and Nicholas Puran. They are on the rise. Nicholas Puran, the orange cap holder, LSG and KKR in the middle positions of the points table. So how do you look them going up from there in the coming week?
I think both of them are pretty dangerous sides, because KKR, mind you, they have still not had somebody like Dreyeras fire for them.
Right.
So he's one of those real impact players who can just turn the game on its head within a couple of balls. Also, Venkatesh Iyer has just come into form, a couple of 50s, still not, finding his feet. Rinku is not fired for them. And mind you, if they can get a pitch like they played in Chepauk the other day, they could be more than a handful with the likes of Varun Chakravarti, Sunil Narayan. I mean, they are an all-round side. They again are a team which would just like to, capitalize, have that healthy habit of winning and continuing that momentum. But LSG, yes. I mean, in the absence of Mitch Marsh, they didn't look like a side who missed him. And Puran, I think he's been the find. And his sixers are just not over the line. I think those are all big 100, 110 meter sixers. And any bowler missing the length, I think they're missing the boundary also. So I think he's in the form of his life. And Adrian Markram has gone about his job very quietly. Certainly he's provided those good starts for them. And yes, if Mitch Marsh can get back as early as possible, I think they are looking a pretty dangerous side. I think these two sides in the middle would be a potent threat for those four teams at the top. Right. So it's about gaining momentum now with those winning habits, because as you get closer to the 10-mark game, the last 4 games for each one of them will get very tight, and that will be real pressure cooker time.
Sunrisers Hyderabad, the top 5 batsmen, the firepower they have versus LSG, Nicholas Puran, Mitchell Marsh, Aiden Markram, and mind you, Rishabh Pant has still not fired in this IPL. So who would you go for?
I think any given day, this IPL, I think my money is only on the top 5 of SRH. There's no match for the top 5 of SRH against any other side. I mean, if they're going to go bang, it's like, Ferrari. And if they don't fire from there, all the 4 wheels are punctured. So as simple as that. It's only a 2-gear thing. Either it's my way or the highway for SRH. There's no midway path for them. So they've been successful in the last game. Let's hope they continue the momentum, the form of all these players. And yes, no better treat to watch these guys come good.
Right. So on that note, we'll come to the end of this episode, the Kumbi-Gikku Show. Thanks very much, Sri, for your wonderful insights and giving more information on the mindset of the players. And we'll see you again next week. Thanks, viewers, and I hope you like this. Do subscribe if you have not already done. That's K. Srinath, the former Tamil Nadu and Karnataka Ranji player, and now the co-author of the Handbook of Cricket Psychology. Do get your hands on that book. It's very, very informative. It is not only about cricket, but it also will give you important, valuable life lessons. Am I right, Sri?
Yeah, thanks, Zico. Thank you very much. Looking forward to catching you up next week with a handful of information to the viewers as far as some exciting cricket that's going to happen in the next week.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.